Welcome to another episode of I'm Nala podcast. Today I'm excited to be joined by an incredible guest, a true visionary and advocate for self esteem, beauty, and cultural pride. She's been gracing runways and magazines around the world while also using her platform to inspire confidence and to elevate African beauty standards. She's a model and artist, passionate about creating a beauty brand made in Africa. Our Nala is the talented Mame Anta Wade. Welcome.
Hello. Hello, Haya. Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here.
We are excited too. So, in 3 words, who is Mame Anta?
Senegalese. Model. Uh, Deeply African rooted. Proud. Proud African and Black girl, let's say.
So many identities in there, yeah?
Yes. You just asked for 3, but I just kept going.
I love it. I love it. And I think like each one of them is representing an identity that you're proud
Yeah,
of.
definitely.
Mm. Okay, so tell us how was it growing up? You're from Senegal. You grew up in a small village in Senegal.
Yes,
Where is it?
exactly.
Where was it?
So I'm from a small village called Niag in the north of Senegal. So I grew up actually between Senegal and France. I spent part of my beginning of my years as a young kids until about teenage years in Senegal, then moved to France for a few years with my parents, and then go back to Senegal to finish my high school, and then come back to France by myself. So I really have like this double, let's say, culture between France and Senegal, but I really like carry with me my culture and my heritage as a Senegalese girl, because I'm from a village and the village life is community living. So everyone kind of know everything about everyone, and we just work on helping each other and building the community together. So I think that's something that I really carried on growing up. So yeah, beautiful, inspiring village girl, village life. Also can be tough because along the way I choose a career that is very, very different from like what was expected from me. So that was also something that I needed to carry with me and make them understand what it was and make them respect my choices, which was at some point quite hard. But yeah, we went through it, and we went there like deeply, and I think we're now in the same page, and I think it's great to see. Like, I am very proud of, like, for example, my parents or whatever, because like when I was young I wouldn't understand myself, like why they wouldn't understand my choices. But I think from my young age I couldn't see their perspective, that hey, they also have to deal with like what the community have to say about them and the choices of their daughter and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's all about like learning to accept and just try to see everyone's point of view. And yeah.
Yeah, I can resonate. I mean, I had a conversation. I'm an only child, and
Yeah.
there was a time I had a conversation with my mom when I started, especially working like remotely and doing stuff that is unconventional, that she wouldn't understand that my room is my office right now, and
Yeah.
being at home doesn't mean I'm not doing anything. So it was a Monday, and she decided that was the cleaning day, and then she got really pissed because she's like, "You're the only girl I have, and you're not helping out, and you're not doing
Mm.
chores and so on." And so I sit her down, and I'm like, "Imagine if you had a boy, like if I were a boy, would you expect me to
Mm.
do that? Would you expect that from me? Like boys would
Right.
go out to have
Right.
coffee a whole day, not do anything, you
Yeah.
know?" And she was like,
Yeah.
"No, I wouldn't expect that. I'm like, so treat me like a boy. Let's get this straight.
Yes, yes.
We
Just
really
treat
like,
me like a boy. No
like
worries on that.
who doesn't know how to cook, who doesn't know how to do chores or anything. But
Yeah,
eventually, like literally by the end of that conversation, we cried because it really like opened layers and layers of how she understands my role in the word and how I understand mine. And yeah, like I resonate. And I think that was one of the moments where it shifted how she sees what I do, or like how am I in this space at home, because home for her is like as a girl, that's what you have to do. So
yeah.
what was there a moment like that where you had those type of honest conversations with your parents or someone who had influence in the family?
Yeah, I think for me that was actually one of my uncle who actually went on social media to treat me and talk to me about a certain way that I would not share here. But yeah, I think that was the breaking point for me where I just really needed to sit down with my mom and tell her that, yeah, this is your family, right? But you cannot let them like diminish me or talk about me in a certain way, especially online. Like, you really need to understand that's what I'm doing is really important for me. And you may not understand it clearly, and I'm going to explain to you. But yeah, this needs to stop. And this is like the breaking point. If there is no change, actually, this is really not going to work for me. And the relationship needs to change. And there was change. I needed to, yeah, speak my truth, and we got a little bit heated, but I guess it was needed. Yeah.
100%. I think it's needed. Just walk through those tough conversations. Just
Yeah,
go through them.
exactly.
So what kind of kid you were? I mean, do you have siblings? Like, what were
I
you,
do.
like the rebel or the sweet or?
Yeah. I was when I was very young, I was the one who was always going to others' houses in the village and going to dance and like be loud. I was the loudest kid ever. Like, I was just like, you know, doing my own stuff and being my
Free,
own
free.
self. I was
Yeah.
so free. And then I think something kind of shift in me growing up when I became actually more quiet, because when you're a kid in African country, I'm from a very traditional Muslim family. So when you're small, we let you kind of do whatever you want, and then growing up, you need to start to be more calm, talk in a certain way, be more like a lady, da da da, all those stuff. So I think I just shrink in myself and close up, close off. And yeah, I just stopped expressing myself, and for a few years, and I think I find a way through modeling to actually be myself again and express myself in a different way, and also like through all the through all my artistic side, understand that all those stuff actually created trauma in me, and that I needed at some point to deal with all these issues in order to be like complete as a person and as an artist.
Thanks for sharing that. I deeply resonate. I come from a
Mm.
small village on the northwest of Tunisia, like bordered with Algeria, and we come from a
Okay.
very conservative Muslim family. And I can
Yeah.
resonate because it's the moment you get your period. That's it. When you get your period, you're a woman now, and you can't cross your legs, and you can't sit on the lap of your cousin, and you can't do
Mhm.
this, and you can't wear mini skirts, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think, you know, a lot of the young women or girls who, whatever, cultural or religious context that they're brought up in, it really impacts how they see themselves in the world. And it takes a lifetime to find freedom again.
Yeah.
And I think, like, for me, it's also like the choice and being financially free. It gives you
Hmm.
that power to make those choices while you're not trapped in those circumstances. So, how has it that been for you? Like, when was the first time you got your first check and you felt, okay, I'm independent. I can not only provide for myself, but the same family that said a girl shouldn't do this, I'm actually
Yes,
the one now.
yes,
You know.
yes. Yes, it was actually interesting for me because I had like a few years where I actually just when I arrived in France, my father was actually still helping me a little bit, but when I decided to go on with my career, everything just stopped. So I needed to like really provide for myself. So I started doing small jobs in next to modeling, and yeah, being like really taking care of myself like fully 100%, and just being by myself because I was kind of feeling like I was alone, you know, like no family to talk with or whatever, just me and my dreams. And like, yeah, you choose this, so now you're gonna go for it, and you need to succeed because that's gonna be too a lot to take on if you don't. So yeah, just like doing like remote jobs, and um modeling was very hard like 10 years ago. So the first years were like very tough, not so much work. Like my first agent actually told me that, hey, don't assume that you're gonna work a lot as a black girl. You're too dark. The industry is not like that open yet for that. So yeah, this is how it is. And so I understood at first that yeah, I needed to actually like really work on this thing if I wanted it to actually work for me. So I decided to start traveling a little bit. I went all around Europe to work on my book. I went to South Africa for the first time, then Thailand, and there I actually had like amazing opportunities. Work really like the first time as a model and make money of it, and then came back to Europe and signed with agency here and really start my modeling career in Europe. So that was in 2018, and that's when it really like started to be my life, and like the providing for me. And yeah, and I also started supporting my family as well. So that I was proud, to be honest. I felt very proud because for me, I really like made it for myself. That the calling that I was feeling for myself was not just something that I was not being delusional. I was feeling something, and I went to and pursue it, and it worked, and it's still my life today. So I was really proud of myself that I just went for it and believed in myself, even though a lot of noises around and people telling me that I was insane. But yeah, I believed in myself. So that was great. And being able to help also home, my cousins, aunts, whatever, was also like I was feeling so grateful for that.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, I mean, without even asking you the question, because I wanted to ask what advice would you give to young women, but I think you said it because once you believe in yourself and you just
Yeah,
and you say, "Girl, like get your shit together, you have to make it."
exactly.
You know, that's it.
And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. It's not easy, of course, and it's still not easy because we know how model industry can be and being an artist can be. Like it's a lot of doubt and a lot of question and a lot of growing and changing your perspective and allowing yourself to change all the time. So that can be tough for sure. But if you believe, I guess that's the starting point of everything.
So you know, when you were talking, I was thinking like those dark, those down moments. Like what were you hanging on to? Was it faith? Was it like some sort of grounding? Was it spiritual? Like where did you go back to?
I think the grounding for sure, and also the spiritual side. Like, I've been growing up as a Muslim, so I believe that if you're a good person and if you're doing good to other people, like nothing actually bad can happen to you. And I believe that I'm a good person. I'm a nice person, so like why not? I just want to work and pursue my dreams. So that's that easy. And yes, being grounded and um, like making this pact with myself that I needed to actually uh, succeed in my dreams, because I gave up on the relationship that I had back in the days with my family for this. So I really needed to like do this for myself, because otherwise, like, what's the point?
It's a leap of faith.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so what would your parents describe what you do for a living? You know, I have this joke with my dad all the time. When people ask him what is Aya doing, he's like, "When I understand what she's doing, I'll tell you." Right now, I don't know what she's doing.
Exactly. That was actually so funny. One time, I was in my face was all over the car, because I was the face of the campaign of the Dakar Fashion Week with Adama Paris. I think that was in 2019 or 20 something, after COVID or before. Anyway, so my dad was like, every time people ask me, I'm like, yeah, that's my daughter. Like, what can I do? It's her. And after that, he just stopped talking about it. No, it just looked like her. It's not her. Start being tired. But
Oh
yeah,
wow.
they're very funny. But now I guess they still can't really say. But to me, what I said is just that I'm an artist. I model for sure, but I think it's much more than that. And this is also something that I say all the time, that I feel like the industry is not giving enough credits to models in general, because I feel like models are artists. We can express many things, and with our body, emotions, whatever. And I think most of the models who models, they want to express something. That's why they do it in the first place. And sometimes to put them in such a small box, that just, hey, you're just a pretty face, or just you're just a pretty body, that's not enough. And yeah, I feel like there needs to be more recognition in there. And yeah, just put the respect from the models.
100%. I think, yeah, yeah, which I want to move to like talk about the industry because you do kind of define that because I follow, you know, a couple of models and people in the industry, but you're very strong in your posting and how you represent yourself and how you represent what you do, that it's art. Whether
Yeah,
it's you expressing with your body, whether it's like it's a whole concept. It's not just, as you said, like a pretty face on a magazine. Like you have a whole vision behind what you're doing, the shoot. And I saw one of the shoots actually. It was amazingly, stunningly beautiful the way what you did with your body. But I saw also there were a lot of comments and, you know, I don't know if you would call it more like bullying or online cyber you know, bullying, but what how do you deal with that? You know, how do you deal with people who don't understand the type of art that you're doing? And
yeah,
do you feel like there is a lot of that in your industry in terms of bullying, body shaming, and things like that?
yeah. I feel like, especially on social media. Like, I don't know why, but people feel like they can just be like whatever on social media and say whatever they want, and they can just be mean and bully, and that's just okay, which is not actually okay. But yeah, like, I wouldn't meet a person in the street who will say to me that I am this or that. That never happened. It's just on social media. So yeah, sometimes, and most of the time, to be honest, it's like Senegalese men's boys or black men's that are just like judging and not allowing me to just like telling them my story and actually just expressing myself. It doesn't say anything about my character or like the person that I am. I'm just telling you something. Can you actually receive it and allow me to be like completely whoever I want to be at this time of the day or the moment or whatever? Just let me be, and I will let you be. Yeah.
So does it impact you? Like, how do you deal with it? I sometimes like see, especially if you have like really huge following, it's a
Yeah.
lot to take in. Like, it's not just the comments, you probably have DMs and things like that.
Yeah, there's also DMs for sure. But yeah, I before I used to try to speak, like to have a conversation that, hey, this is actually what I'm trying to express here. Can you just receive me and can we meet in the middle? And me showing this or that doesn't make me a bad woman or a bad Muslim or a bad person. It's just me trying to express something, but it never works. So I stopped. So yeah, it doesn't really affect me, to be honest, because I know like what I'm doing. I already dealt with the the bullying of my close circle. So to be honest, the outside person, I don't really care. They can tell whatever they want. Doesn't matter. It's they're doing harm to themselves, not to me.
So your advice would be like, don't engage and just consume your
Yeah,
energy. Nobody, you who is
exactly.
hiding behind a screen. I mean, if you dealt
Yeah,
with the people, no.
exactly. That's yeah. Yeah, don't engage and don't let them ruin your energy because it's not worth it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%. All right, so I want to bring this slideshow. Omom left, and now I can't see it. It looks actually good. I'm gonna discover these with you. Let me text her. Disappeared, so she can bring it back. Okay, and then while she brings that, because I really want to play that game, do you think just the space you are in, do you think it's promoting unhealthy standards of beauty, is promoting a certain representation of women that you're also trying to challenge?
I think we're getting there, but we're not fully there yet, which is I have a lot of hope for the industry because I feel like me, I started like 10 years ago, so I can really see the difference. Like 10 years ago when there was like a quota of the darker skin or whatever, and now it's just like more in the standards. It's not like we're gonna think about booking the black girl because we need to. It's just like something that they want to do. So I really saw that change and that evolved. So yeah, I think we're really like in a right direction when it comes to that.
I mean, you just reminded me of Emily in Paris and this representation that, it has to be a white girl with like a certain type of representation to make it
Yeah.
in Paris, What did you think of that show?
I think the show, like, no disrespect to the actors or whatever, but I think this whole show is just this is a scam. Like, this is not like how a Parisian life looks like. I think it's actually just so disrespectful to people who actually live and struggle a lot in Paris. It's a very hard living because if you're not earning like a certain amount of money or having a certain lifestyle, you cannot afford the lifestyle of Emily in Paris. So that's completely false and wrong. And yeah, it's a hard living to be living in a city like Paris, and it needs a certain lifestyle to be living like that. So yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I watch
yeah.
it just to
But it's
criticize.
beautiful. Yeah, 20 seconds.
I know, because it's like, and they keep on doing seasons, and I'm like, oh, come on, now she's moving to Rome, and
I've seen that, and I was like, okay, no problem, go.
Go, go, go,
Please go.
yeah, it's amazing. All right, so we got the slides. I'm excited.
Mm.
So we're gonna play a game called Guess the Designer. I will show you iconic women fashion designers, and you have to tell me their names. So let's start with the
Okay.
first one.
Okay, I have no idea. What? It's a
I can give you any
beautiful
hints, but
lady dress.
last name is James.
Comment? What did you
Last name
say?
James.
James?
Last name, yeah.
The
Her last
last
name.
name is James.
Yeah.
James. Oh my god,
Aurora
nothing is
James.
coming.
Does it ring a bell?
Oh?
Aurora James.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never find it. But yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's go.
Oh yes. She's amazing. What a beautiful woman.
Who do you think the designer is?
I don't know. This is a very hard game for me. Very hard. Do you
Okay,
know yourself? Or do you
no,
already have
that's my
the
strength
answers?
for sure. But our producer, did this research, so I will, whatever. If you get them all, great. If you don't, it's that's how we do it here. Okay, so this one is Anne Louet.
Okay.
Anne Louet. Okay, let's see. Third one. This is Andrea Linyama.
Okay.
I'm actually really discovering them with you.
Okay, me too. I'm
But they
discovering.
look
Where is she from? Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. Vicky James.
How do you know?
How do I know?
Yeah.
Of course, I have the names. How would I play the game without having Okay.
Oh, this I know. That's the only one I know. I'm just so bad. This is Amina Mwadi.
Amazing. Bingo. Okay, we will only show this one and say you got it.
Yes, please.
All right.
Well, I
Well,
actually have a really great anecdote about her. I
mhm.
did the Fenty campaign for the eyewear, and we shot this beautiful campaign with Arnaud Legenie, and she actually posted the photo of the campaign the day of my birthday on her page, and of course she had no idea, but like it was just full circle moment for me. I was so happy, like at midnight 20 or something. Oh, post from Rihanna. I was like, thank you. Even though you have no idea. Thank you.
That's amazing. I've been
Yeah.
following a lot of her Fenty launches and stuff, and seeing like her interaction with fans and a lot of like influentials who also like put her brand out, and she seems really like human in her.
Yeah.
She seems very genuine in her like
Exactly.
promoting other people. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Is there any other like designers you love or collaborated with, and it was really like a moment?
Oh, I think Alaya for me, because that was like a childhood dream. I really wanted to work with this house, and because of most of it because of Grace Jones, because I always growing up also looked after this beautiful black woman, singer, dancer, actress, whatever she was. That was very inspiring for me. So yeah, working with Alaya was like really something for me.
Beautiful. Thank
Yeah.
you, Amon. We got it. So you can leave if you need to.
Thank you.
Thank you for that list. Very challenging.
Yeah, very challenging.
Okay, let's put the camera again a little bit so we don't
Right.
lose your face. Yeah, so talking of influentials, I actually wanted to ask if you think, like in this time and age, influentials are taking jobs away from professional models, or you think like there is this concept of people infiltrating the industry without really having to struggle?
For me, this is a tough one because obviously I think that influencer also having like their job is not like easy, you know. It's just that it's not just that they wake up and they do content and all of a sudden they become famous and it's easy, you know. They also put, I think, a lot of work on, and I think it's hard for me because I don't want to take that away from them. But also from my perspective, sometimes I also feel that, yeah, this is not your job. You don't really know what to do when you're actually modeling. You can have people around that help you out and you can figure it out. But at the end of the day, that's not your job. And there is someone that is the job that is actually not working because you're taking the room, but also like I would say that I feel like there is room for everybody, but it doesn't seem fair as well in the sense that uh, brands really look at like the numbers of followers or everything that you have, which can be hard because you can be a good model but not have a good presence online, and vice versa, you know. So yeah, I think social media in general have took so much room in our lives and in our jobs, and it's hard to see where the quality is. And like we don't focus anymore on the quality of like the model, we just focus on like what followers and what this person is going to bring and what community she have or whatever. So it's, I think it makes everything more complicated for models for sure, but it also gives you another perspective to work on yourself and improve and allow yourself to unlearn and learn new things, which are actually having an online presence and building your influencing side a little bit more. And in that case, I think they're actually teaching us something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I resonate with that, and I think there are incredible women as well who are challenging that. So like even if you don't have following, when you go in circles and rooms, like the name is a legend, the name is a
Yeah.
legacy, right? um but also like this whole game of social media changed how we perceive who's professional and who has talent and who hasn't. So it makes the game tougher, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can pay for all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what would be your like 3 steps for any young woman aspiring to modeling, to who doesn't know where to start or how to open a gate there? What would
Yeah.
you say?
So I would say first, get the mindset to it, because it starts all from there. You need to be like very grounded and sure about yourself and where you want to go, and also fix boundaries for yourself. And you need Polaroid. So Polaroids are like photos that you're gonna take in front of a white wall, of your face, your body, your hands, your profile. So, like, let's say 5 to 6 pictures that you need to send actually to agencies. You need to take those photo in a very natural light with not too much makeup. We need to see like who you are, your features, without all the artificial whatever. It's better to do it with natural hair, no wigs or whatever. It's better. Be yourself. Be unapologetically yourself. And you said 3, right? Yeah. A third one, uh, I guess today you can do it without agencies, because that's the room that Instagram has opened for for everyone as well. But I would say that if you want to do it professionally, yeah, finding an agency would be like a very big plus for you.
So you would submit DM people
Yes,
on Instagram? Mhm.
you can submit directly on the websites of the agencies. You also have agency who are doing open calls or days where they just like open for everyone. So you can go. Usually it's on Wednesday or Thursday. You can just go with your confidence and try to get signed. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's
No,
and
that's
I
that's
think I appreciate that a lot.
talking of just be natural and like have no wigs and stuff like that. I mean, not only you are like absolutely bold in the industry and like really broke those ceilings of being from Senegal and being a black girl, but also, hey, I'm gonna show up like this.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, this is me. You're gonna take me like that.
yeah, take it all, or this one for you.
Yeah, I know. I cut my hair first. It was in 2017, and I never get back.
It's
Yeah, I
beautiful.
just really
Really,
felt that when I cut my hair and like actually really like cut it short because I cut first it was to grow my afro and then I cut again to have it like this and then I really like looked myself in the mirror and I was like okay this is me actually I found myself this is where I see me. So it was really like a emotionally game changing for me to be able to like just own it. Because I also went through phases where I was wearing wigs, doing braids. Like I didn't really know what was my style or my identity, and I think being bald really brought up these pieces that I was missing in my identity.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful. So what would you say your style, beside being bald? Like, what would you say in the fashion is your style?
I think I'm very uh, I'm very cutesy, but also like let's say bold, but in a cute way and in a very colorful way. But it depends on the moods. So yeah, it's either very dark or very colorful. But I would say that my style depends a lot on my moods. Yeah, and I don't follow like trends or like designers or whatever. I just dress up into like what I like and if I feel connected with the clothes and that's it. Growing up, we were going a lot to the market every celebration, like Eid or something like that to go choose the fabric, to do our dresses and all the stuff. And I continued doing that actually, going to Senegal, just buying fabrics and doing my clothes to bring back in Europe. So yeah, I really have like a personal relationship with clothes and the style that I have.
I love it. So you woke up today and you were recording this, and what was your mood? I see like it's very nude type of.
Yeah, yeah. So to be honest, like this morning, I'm going to tell you it's funny. So I have two floor at home, and I woke up. I actually fall in the stairs. That's how I woke up today.
Okay, falling and picking yourself up. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, that's great. So coming up to this, I just wanted to like, you know what? No extra. Let's just be ourselves. Let's go into this with open mind and heart, and yeah, just be natural.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
it was a good reminder that yeah, life can be very funny sometimes. You think you have it all figured out, and then you fall.
It's a great metaphor.
Yeah.
So talking of like the fashion and the brands, and you said you don't follow like trends and designers and so on. Do you think luxury brands really worth their price tag, or are they just we're just paying for the name? And I ask this because a lot of young women now seeing all these celebrities or influential, it became more like attaching your self-worth to what you carry or how much you are worth in terms of your wearing, and it's really damaging, like, yeah, that's like you said, showing up yourself and being simple. What do you think
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, well, I think that brands actually price in according to like their names, I guess. Because when you look at the material, the fabrics and all those stuff, you're actually really wondering like why is this so expensive? And me, I don't believe in like I'm a family support, and I grew up in a very poor family and community, so I don't believe in spending that much on clothes. I'm more than happy to receive gifts, but but yeah, it's very hard for me in my head to connect all of that. So I think that's also why I build myself in that way, in the way of more simpler and not trying to follow trends or brands or whatever, even though I work with all these brands and I love their fashion. For example, I talk about brands that I really actually respect. And if I would be a billionaire, I would see myself investing too. Like, for example, Alaya or Schiaparelli or let's say Margiela, all those brands that I feel that there is really like a craftsmanship and that there is thinking behind like a search of the materials, of also the collections, the history. Like there is all these things coming together that really make the prices make sense to me. So yeah, I could see myself there. But when we talk in general, for sure, yeah, there is a little bit of imbalance there, and I think it's hard today, especially with social media, to have all these influencers praising all these brands, and you have the young girls following those influencers who can actually afford it, and then feel sad or feel that they're not worth enough or whatever. So there's just so much imbalance there, and yeah, I think it's sad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also it's smart, like being a young woman and seeing all of these, be smart. Like even if you have money, it doesn't make sense to buy a $3,000 handbag, like
Yeah.
buy assets, like think of investment, like don't look at the superficial thing. Uh,
Yeah.
after you wear it, like that bag, like
Yeah.
it's I watched on the plane recently Celine Dion's documentary, and I love something she said: whatever shoes you give me, I wear the shoes becomes the shoe because I wear it. So she was
Hmm.
saying that she would sometimes go to a shoe store and they tell her, what's your size? And she's like, no, what do you have? What do you
Hmm.
have? Because I'm gonna wear any. I like this shoe, and I'm gonna wear any size of it. And she said sometimes she goes on stage with like a bigger size or smaller size, and like she keeps her legs like this because she
Yeah.
like shoes becomes what she wears. So even that bag, sometimes you can buy the most expensive things, but if you don't have the confidence, if you're not yourself, if you're not
Yeah.
bold, if you're not you, then
Yeah.
not show with
Exactly.
whatever expensive
Yeah.
things you. Yeah.
Wear the bag. Don't let the bag wear you. Right.
So in terms of I have a few couple questions. I think I went beyond time, but I'm
It's
so great.
okay.
Like I'm so grateful for your generosity with the time. Yeah, two things I want to address. So one is on representation. I'm sure sometimes you feel like you represent the whole of the continent, you represent Africa, you represent
Yeah.
women. in
Yeah.
the spaces you were in, and a lot of young women see themselves in you as well, because
Yeah.
before we couldn't see someone like you being in these spaces and modeling. So how do you feel about that? How does it impact you? How do you navigate those spaces where you feel sometimes like the first or the only, and you're paving the way to a lot of young women?
Yeah. Well, I feel very actually proud, humbled by that, and grateful that actually, like, sometimes I receive messages from girls and they're like, "Oh, when I see you, I feel like I really can like be myself and my blackness, or be proud of who I am, be proud of my alopecia or whatever." So it's just make me humble and yeah, and proud, and just want to be even like more loud about all this subject about my dark skin, my blackness, my love for myself and my color, and that I would never change anything, actually, anything about my culture, where I'm coming from, like how I look like and what I represent. So for me, it's just, yeah, I'm very proud of it. And I feel very grateful to be able to help a little bit on my small scale.
Well, we definitely are proud of you.
Thank you.
So do
Thank
you feel
you.
like there is an activism with modeling? Like there could be, like can modeling be a powerful tool for social change beyond traditional activism framework? Because, just being who you are in such very like very wide space, very like certain boxes. Do you feel like you're
Mm.
an activist somehow in the space?
Oh. I don't know. I don't like to call myself an activist because,
Mhm.
yeah, me, I'm only about like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. But I would say that I'm only about communicating and opening um, conversations, but through love and understanding. And yeah, just let's meet in the middle and let's share our journeys. Let's understand one's path, and like how actually the journey make you become the person that you are, whatever. Just like try to understand everyone's point of view and path. And yeah, I don't know, I'm like idealistic peaceful person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any like specific policy you believe that is necessary to support women models in Africa or diaspora? Like if you feel, okay, this is the industry, this is the framework, it is one thing we should change, to make the game fair, especially for young African women.
Yeah, for sure, the way we educate our girls, and just the way that we don't give enough rooms to the girls in general in the household, that the girl needs to be quiet, she needs to be like this, like that, in order to find a husband, to like, we don't want all to find a husband and be like a nice wives. We have so much more aspirations, and yeah, we need to leave the room for the girls to actually figure out what they want. And I'm very lucky that I was actually able to do so, and I want the same for everyone, and that's what we should do. And especially in our African countries, with our cultures and tradition, we're very deeply rooted in all of this stuff. So I think we do have a lot of work to do, and I think it starts from education, and yeah, changing the way we're educating the girls, and especially opening safe spaces for them to grow and actually think about many other ways to live their lives without fear of judgment, of yeah, fear of judgment.
100%.
Yeah.
So we do this section where we say ask Nala, so we ask the guest. We have 19-year-old Rosaline asking, rejection sucks, especially in modeling. What's your best tip for bouncing back when it feels personal?
It's very hard, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think we all have our moments where actually the rejection feel harder than one other time because we feel rejected actually 24/7. That's the core of the industry. You go to casting, it's a yes or no. You're gonna do, like, let's say 10 casting, you're gonna have 3 jobs in the whole 10 castings. So there is a lot of rejections. So I would say that it's about not taking it personally because there is so many criteria that actually a client is looking for. So sometimes it's just about, yeah, you were not a good fit for this particular job, but it doesn't have anything to do with you personally. So yeah, it's just about believing in yourself and in your calling and in the, yeah, believing in yourself, in your calling, and understand that once it's not for you for sure, but it can be for you in a month or two or in a year or whatever. So you just need to be, first of all, very passionate and yeah, keep believing and continuing to just try to improve. For example, me, I went through a lot of changing this, did change this year with my agencies and stuff. So what I'm doing is that I'm working on my portfolios. I'm working on my content. I'm doing new stuff. I'm showing up for myself in a different way in order for clients and also me to see me in a different light, you know? So it's just about understanding that you need to grow along the way and accepting that the change needs to come along the way as well.
Beautiful advice. So we come to the end of the episode. I would like to ask you, why are you Nala? And you can say I'm Nala because in whatever language you want.
Okay. Je suis Nala parce que euh, I am unapologetically myself, always.
Tu veux le faire en français? Tu peux le faire en français.
Euh, je suis Nala parce que je suis moi-même à 100% tous les jours et tout le temps.
Joli, joli, joli. J'adore.
I have actually started a charity project in 2022. The name is Les Sourires de Mao. Is to help improve health and education structure and infrastructure in the continent, especially in Senegal. And our project this year is to rebuild elementary school of Niag, which is the village where I was born. So at the time, the kids are in momentary shelters. So we're just trying to raise funds to, like, actually build the school. And yeah, voila.
So call to action to
Call to
join
action,
effort
exactly.
with you. Yeah, to join effort
Yeah.
with you and support what you're trying to do for girls to get quality education and
Yeah.
to really not only build the infrastructure in our continent, but inspire, you know, because I
Yeah.
think when they see that you are doing that, they can aspire to be financially free and one day come back and do something in their communities. So
Exactly.
thank you for doing that.
Thank you.